We just got to LA. We're filming with Lindsey Carter from Set Active, and I can't wait. It's gonna be so fun. We're going to Beverly Hills. They have a lovely office, and it's gonna be a really good conversation. But first things first, every time we get to LA, we gotta get a joggy. So come along. Joggy and sushi. That's what's for breakfast. That's the best breakfast, actually. Hi. La la! Best energy ever. We'll take a few. We gotta make sure they look very cute. Okay, girls, you're looking pretty cute. For real, the sushi for breakfast is the hack. Spicy tuna. Joggy and sushi for breakfast. Now you know. This is Obsessions With, and I'm Ty Haney. It's a podcast, a vlogcast? Where I interview close friends of mine and the founders building the most successful and most loved brands and businesses today, where we focus on their obsessions, what they're most obsessed with in their personal lives, the core obsession that drove them to create their businesses in the first place. And for our next guest, a very amazing entrepreneur, mother. She's built a cult following activewear brand and bootstrapped it herself. Come with me to the Set Active offices in Beverly Hills for Obsessions With Lindsey Carter. So I'm most interested to kick off with what you're obsessed with right now.
Oh my God, what am I not obsessed with? I feel like my obsessions rotate. Like, I'm such a creature of habit that I'll like be a diehard of something, and then I find something else, and then I'm like all in on what that is. So right now, like my number one obsession, so much so that my hairstylist even noticed a difference in my hair, is the Crown Affair air dry cream.
Okay.
Like, I'm obsessed with products and beauty, and I've tried a lot of things out there, and this is like one where I don't feel like I fell into consumerism, and I'm like, oh, this works.
This works, yeah.
So that's what I would say.
I love it. And the Seahawks I've seen.
Yes, go
Give me
Seahawks.
the backstory.
What is the backstory? Okay, so I became friends with Anna Cup through Instagram. Okay. I don't remember how. I think she DM'd me saying that she loves Set, and I was like, I love the Rams. Her husband played for the Rams. His name's Cooper Cup, and then he recently got traded to the Seahawks, and I'm like, I'm as loyal as it gets. So like, if you roll deep with the Seahawks, I will also roll deep with the Seahawks.
That's so cool.
Wherever they are, I am, and
I love it.
Go Hawks.
Wait, and you were at the Super Bowl.
I went to the
game before
the championship. Yeah, the NFC.
Yeah, something like that. It looked amazing.
Yeah, NFC, go sports.
I love it. That's awesome. I've seen you with the Sophie Pavitt sunscreen as well.
Okay, yes. I'm so glad you brought up Sophie Pavitt. If you don't know what Sophie Pavitt is, you're like living under a rock. She is an esthetician who specializes in people who have acne, like cystic acne, hormonal acne, normal acne, whatever that is.
She's the New York's acne whisperer.
Yes, and so like first of all, it was genius for her to come out with her own like lineup of products for acne, but it's just the packaging is so simple. It just tells you what it does, and the proof is in the pudding. Again, like Crown Affair, where like I've used the product and I don't break out from it. Yeah. And she just released a sunscreen, and I've tried Ulta MD, I've tried all the different K-pop. Oh my God. That's because my children are obsessed with K-pop.
Right? Demon Hunters.
Yes.
Oh my God.
It's like K-pop is on my mind. I just bought a K-pop toy for my daughter. I met K-Beauty sunscreen. I've tried so many different sunscreens, like the ones that TikTok tell you are amazing. Sophie Pavitt one is so far the best.
It's unreal. I just got it.
Yeah,
same.
It's incredible.
I know. I think that might be my deepest obsession right now.
The Sophie Pavitt sunscreen.
Besides horses, which we've got to talk about.
Oh yeah, we both are obsessed
with
horses.
You need to come.
Except I broke my back a year ago.
I know.
Riding horses.
Will you get back into it, or tell me?
Yes, I'll get back into it. So one of my friends, Chloe, who is also deep in the sports world, she is an agent. She represents like all these golfers. It's really cool, actually. She's the one who got me back into riding this year. And I say that lightly because she brought me to the barn once, and I like was like, wait a second, I remember why I love horses. And so it's because of her. She like invited me back to the barn after a year off. I broke my back last January at
Thermal.
Yes.
Wait, can you remind me? Did you ride growing up?
I did. Yeah.
And jumping? Hunter jumping?
Just dressage.
Okay.
And it was like a blip in my like I know, a blip in my world. I quickly just like didn't do show like I didn't show horses at all, and then got into Western riding. And my mom was a rider, so and my dad, so I was like obsessed with it. And then I got into it, and I was so excited last January at the show in Palm Springs, and then I fell and broke my back in 3 places.
I know, you texted me that. I was like, oh my God.
I know, didn't I? I think I like texted you. I was like, I think I slipped a disc, or is this what it's supposed to feel like? And you're like,
might just be soreness, right? And then it was hardcore.
And then I got an MRI, and it was the guy was like, your back is broken in 3 places.
Oh my
and I
God.
was like,
but you're getting, like, fast forward to a year now, and you're back in the saddle?
I haven't got back on yet.
Okay, are you?
But I'm like, I really want to. I just think I have to get over the PTSD.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that's pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
I've continued making a really big stable, collecting horses. Since then, I just got a new horse named Clue. So now I have 3.
You have 3 horses.
So I need you to
Where
catch
are
up.
they?
They're in Boulder, like right outside Boulder, which is where home base for me and the kids are.
Okay.
But I'm excited for you to get back into it. Because
so I can
then
come
we can
visit you?
Yeah, like Babysitter's Club, but riding horses
club. That was my favorite book and movie growing up. That was a movie. The Babysitter's Club.
Was it? Oh my God, I never saw it.
Yes.
But I picture us like in this horse girls club.
Yeah. Let's start
and
one.
I need you to be there with me.
I've got a lot of people who could join.
Okay, good. We're doing this.
Yeah.
Super cool. You were just telling me about, what's your son's name?
Ace.
And he wants to be a boss?
He wants
I need to know more.
So he has an obsession with coming to my office, partly because I think there's a candy bar here and he gets to have candy. No, but he gets to come, and he's at the age now where like I think he's starting to understand like conversations and what people are saying and how things work rather than just like repeating what he hears. So he just was like, he asked me while we were here, he's like, are you the boss of everybody here? And I said, I am the boss. And he was like, well, I want to be the boss. And I was like, why do you want to be the boss? And he was like, so I can eat all the snacks. And I was like, you could do that if you were the boss. Yeah. And it was just, I don't know, it was really cool. And I think it really validated that, like, you know, I have a lot of mom guilt with being a founder and a CEO. And I've heard from other people who are now past the stage, like their kids are in college, and they always say their number one regret is that they didn't make more time for their kids while they were building. And it was just like a nice reminder that like he's seeing what I'm doing and he's watching me, and it's like sparking conversation amongst himself, even if it's for the snacks. And it was kind of like a validation moment to like keep going. Yeah, like modeling the behavior, and it's amazing how much actually they absorb and digest just by like witnessing our everyday. Yeah, it, like, by watching. Totally nuts. I must eat a lot of snacks, I guess. Those do look good over there. Are they always full? This is dangerous. They are always full. I actually, surprisingly, I don't eat them. Okay. I don't know if it's because I have so much access to them, but a lot of people come in. Gina does. Oh, I don't. Oh my God, I love it. What candy shop is this? For a long time, it was like candy that I was craving. I'm not pregnant. It's just I love candy. So it was like gummy bears and like Haribo or Haribo. Yeah. There's a huge competition on how you say it. So I'm sure it's Haribo. I call it Haribo. Yeah. Who knows? I'm just going to say it's both. It's both pronunciations. And recently I just switched to like Swedish candy just to change it up. The soccer bit? Yeah. It looks like that. I was like, bonbon. Okay, bonbon. Yeah. With Sunny, my daughter, when I was pregnant, I exclusively ate Nerd Ropes. Which she's turned out all right for that. But that was my pregnancy craving. Oh my God, yum. But girl, it was really delicious. And then Champy, I don't remember having something distinct like that. Mine was In-N-Out with my daughter. Both? Oh, with my daughter. Okay. With my With Ace, it was dino nuggets. It had to be dino nuggets. It could not be normal shaped dino nuggets.
Really?
And
I love it.
there's a reason to that. They taste different. Like,
Oh
and
my God.
I remember my husband came home with the normal nuggets, and
Yeah.
I was like, these
Not
aren't
it.
going to work.
No.
Like, you have to go get the dino nuggets.
I
Sorry.
love that. That's so
And he
awesome.
was like, what do you mean? I was like, they have to be dino shaped.
Oh my God. They just tasted better.
Yeah.
Is Ace older or younger?
He's older.
Ace is older, and then what?
Ava.
Ava,
She's 18
okay.
months younger.
And will you have another one, or you don't?
I'm dying for another one.
Okay.
Like, could be pregnant yesterday.
Okay, yes.
My husband's a hard no, so, tune in to see what happens.
Breaking news. We'll see. We'll time this really nicely. I found it so refreshing when we first started working together. I think shortly after Set launched on TYB, like there was news about me rejoining Outdoor Voices.
Yes.
And like literally you were one of the first people to reach out and be like, oh my God, this is the best news ever. And I feel like oftentimes playing in a similar, I don't know what you call it. I call it activewear space, whatever.
Athleisure, lifestyle.
People might see us and be like, isn't that competitive? But like, I actually just think it's so cool and refreshing, like how much buddy we can be.
Yeah.
And I've described it almost as like in the music space with pop stars, there's different flavors and like obviously different cult followings. I'm curious your perspective on it, or just how you'd speak to kind of like us coexisting in a space. Obviously there's so many people in this, and I find it like pop stars. Like there's so many different flavors.
I agree. Like there's room for everyone, in my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I think when I was first starting Set, and I, was so young, I was my mid 20s, like still figuring out how to be an adult. Like, I think I took when people copied Set or wanted to copy like what we were doing so personally. And I think as I've gotten older and have spent now years, I'm gonna have 8 years under my belt of building something, I've realized like there is room for everyone. And fashion is such a cyclical cycle in terms of everyone draws inspiration from everyone, and it's always going to be your personal creative iteration of whatever it is that you're seeing. There's not one person who invented, polka dots, or one person who invented a sports bra and leggings, and it's just your personal creative vision. And so when I think I've come to realize that like there's beauty and connection over competition, I became more open to that. And it's like you win more when you celebrate and champion the people that you care about, no matter what they're doing. And I think that was something, it was like a no-brainer. Like I was so proud to hear, like I knew the links that you went to and that adventure you went on with Outdoor Voices, and to be able to like come back into it, I could only imagine was like a feeling that is indescribable. And I felt like that alone was something to be celebrated. So I just wanted to make sure that like you knew that you were seen.
It was
from,
so
like,
lovely.
The outside.
Yeah. No, it was so lovely, and I think just people, not between us, but people I think like enjoy pitting one another, people against each other. And I think for us to be able to like consistently blast through that and just like,
well, I feel like the internet, or like keyboard warriors, like it almost feels like they're playing Sims, and like they're like, let's see what like drama we can drum up. And like I feel like they like adopt a sim whether they like the sim or not, and they want to see the drama, and they want to see it all unfold. And so when the more you can go and push outside of like what the keyboard warriors want to see, I feel like the more food they have to live off of.
Yeah, totally. But you have such amazing closeness with the community and like such a pulse there.
Yeah.
On the flip side, like I imagine it's quite anxiety inducing. Like how are you dealing with that right now? And it's amazing how much you put out there.
That's such a good question. I mean, I think when it comes to authenticity and community, you can't fake that. And I feel like your community will be able to tell if you fake that. For me, if I don't talk to my broadcast channel or interact with my community, I feel like I haven't talked to like a best friend in days. And I'm like, whoa, like we got to catch each other up. And I feel like that is the authentic feeling that I personally get when it comes to my community, because I deeply, deeply care about what it is that they want. What are they looking for? Like, at the end of the day, sure, I love that I get to wear the product, but it's the consumer who's buying my product.
Totally.
And I need to know who my consumer is. And if you want to know just the same way who your friends are, you have to get to know them. And that's my way of doing that, is I want to get to know my community. And some people might say, like, you're too close to the community, or it's creating like a parasocial relationship. And they're right, it is. And there are days where I'm like, shoot, I think I shared too much, or I need to pull back a little bit. But I think the beauty of what I'm building is I get to make those rules. And if that day I want to pull back and be a little bit more private, that's up to me. If I want to share more and be more open, that is also up to me.
Totally.
And I think that it's created like such a beautiful community, and it's showed me who's there for me and who's there for Set. And it's so interesting. I was on the Hot Smart Rich podcast with Maggie Sellers. And before the podcast, her and I got dinner, and I told her that I was like really nervous to like show my vulnerable side of like opening up and talking about the things that make me me, or Set, or the mistakes that I've made in building, and all of, you know, the whole laundry list of things. And she was like, the best thing that ever happened to me while building HSR were, you know, the negative people coming forward, because it made me realize who my people were in community, in friends, in family, in customers, in the people that work for you. And I think that was like such an aha moment for me, because I now know like the people that are ride or die for Set. And it's really cool to see like them champion me when I do make mistakes, or if I do misstep, or if I do have a huge win. Like they all show up the same for me.
I mean, it's clear you have such command and just agency over it, and confidence, I'd say. Like it's amazing to see how much you're showing up and like just speaking your mind, which is refreshing I don't think a lot of people do that. And like ultimately, I think that certainly is going to be the future of brands.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's so many times where Gina's like, don't send that in your broadcast channel yet.
And what? You're like,
oops, I did it already. Sorry.
I love it. I also know that last time we connected, you had said like you might have brought on some friends and family, but I think what's so remarkable in terms of dollars. I feel like, I don't know, we can get clear on that, but I think what's so amazing is that you've built this without bringing on like large amounts of VC capital. Will you tell me more about that?
Yeah. I feel like I've always been someone since I was little who like found a way to make things happen, and like go after what I wanted. And I just kind of did that with Set. I took a chance on myself. I really believed in what I was building. I really believed in the product that I had, the community that I was building, that I was just like, fuck it. Like, here we go. And that's literally what happened. And it's just so crazy. I think, you know, we're going to have a huge year. It's going to be Set's best year this year. It's crazy because we're going on 8 years. I've now seen like what a failure year is, like meaning like not hitting goals, under revenue, under projections, the whole 9 yards. I've seen what starting a brand from zero is like. I've seen what scaling's like. I'm currently in growth mode right now, and still with no investors is like
insane.
So crazy.
Really, like double clicking on that. That's totally insane. Like remarkable.
Thank you. It's hard to like have it, you know, I was just talking about this with my friend Chelsea. She owns Park, which I'm sure a lot of people have heard about. We always talk, we're like, do we think that the wins are always going to feel numb to us? Like like as a founder, and I'm sure you've experienced this.
You can't feel the high that you expect or someone would think that you feel.
Yeah, or like when you're like, oh, I can't wait to have, you know, I remember one time Gina and I were talking like, wow, wouldn't it be, we were joking like 30,000 website visitors on drop day would be so cool.
Imagine.
And we did that this year on a drop, and I was like, we could do better.
Like the bar just keeps going like this, which is also obnoxious for us.
It's obnoxious, but it's also like sometimes I'm like, can I stop and like feel this? And I'll like literally, what's that movie? It's A Holiday with Cameron Diaz, and she's sitting in the back of the limo, and she's like, she doesn't cry, and she's like, just cry, and she like sits there and she like tries to force the tears out of her eyes, and she's like she's like really trying. And I feel like that happened to me the other day. I was like, feel the success, and I was like, what's next?
I know, totally. No, it's pretty insane. We were in New York hosting a 2YB event, and 2 girls had come to the event, and their obsession for set was like very alive and real. They were showing our team like, I'm level 3, I love this green, and I think your guys' team followed up by sending them one colorway that had sold out so quickly as a perk. And I'm now in the business of obsession, but just like getting to see the obsession, the halo, and kind of essentially flywheel around your brand, it's almost second to none. Like, I think Set is up there in the top 10 brands for sure in terms of people really truly being super fans. What do you think is, like, as we think about like the Kool-Aid and the formula, like what has really been a key part of that?
I think authenticity, truly. Like, I hate for that to be my magical answer, but the truth is it is that, because like I said earlier, like, you can't fake authenticity. And so I feel like people are like, okay, I'm going to be authentic today. And we'll be like, hey fam. And they're like broadcast. And it's like, no, that's not real. Yeah.
But like for the last 8 years, in a way, you have kind of built in public, which is a scary thing to do.
Every single day,
when you
scary.
say like you've shared the highs, the lows, and everything in between.
That's just who I am as a person. Like I'll walk in. I remember I was in college. I went to the U of A. And
you did?
I did.
In Arizona?
Yeah.
I had a short stint there. Did I tell you that?
No.
I was in Tucson during COVID. We bought a house there.
Oh, I did know that. I did know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did talk about that.
And then I was like,
whoa. Yeah, whoa.
It's all like retired people, respectfully. There's no internet here. Gotta go.
Yeah. No, I went to the University of Arizona, and I remember this specific weekend. I went home with my boyfriend at the time. He's not my husband. He lived in Scottsdale, so it's like about a 2-hour drive. And in Scottsdale, there's something called Old Town, and it's like a bunch of clubs. Like, it's like Vegas on a block, where it's like club. And I remember going to the club, and I'm like, don't drink often. I'm not a big drinker. I've never been a big drinker. And I walk into the bathroom, and there's like a bathroom person who's like passing out perfume or hand sanitizer. And there's a long line, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit down. I'm like, what's your name? And she's like, Rosa. And I was like, I'm Lindsey. And she's like, nice to meet you. And I was like, where are you from? Like, I don't know how it happened, but I remember that night we got into the fact that my mom died when I was young, and and at the end she's like, I'll be your mama. Like,
wow,
it was, and I just was like, my husband, who was my boyfriend, was like, where were you? I was gone for like 45 minutes in the bathroom with her, unloading like my whole life story. And I think that translates to who I am on social media, because I've been that way since I was little. I mean, Gina will tell you too. Like, Gina's known me since I was in preschool. Well, I guess in my mom's belly. She's my sister's best friend. And she's now watched me build Set, and she's, you know, been a part of my life since I was little, and I've always been an oversharer. And so I think who I am in real life is also who you see on the internet. And I feel like a lot of people just show their highlight reel on the internet.
Right.
And so it kind of just like makes me different, I guess, as building in public, because I'm not just showing all my wins. I'm also talking about my failures and my mistakes, which again is a catch-22, because you'll get like the trolls. It's like, didn't she just apologize? And it's like, well, I don't have to talk about any of this actually. You know what I mean? It's just
how do you like prime your mind to deal with that though? Because like you can get stuck in that.
It's hard. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I care so much about making sure that the community's happy. And so when I find out that they're disappointed, or that I made a misstep or a mistake, my mantra, like when I know it's going to be something, like for example, we have a drop coming up. It's one of the drops we weren't able to add inventory to. It's going to sell out in 2 seconds. It's coming up on March 25th. It will be gone. Like, I know that.
And you're going to hear all about it.
I'm going to hear all about it. It's going to be like another drop where she didn't have enough units, or another. And it was a drop where we weren't able to add units. The factory was closed. I think that I just like always try to sit, now that I can like prepare for like the outbursts on the internet, and just like remember that at the end of the day, like I'm a human and I'm allowed to make mistakes. I'm allowed to grow from them. I'm allowed to be upset. I'm allowed to be happy. I'm allowed to celebrate. And I feel like I selfishly have been putting myself first, and that's been helpful.
Yeah.
It's also been helpful to actually, when drop happens, like if that's a scenario where like something's happening on the internet, I actually put my phone down. I'll send a thank you for like showing up. Thanks for being there.
Yeah,
and then I don't check.
looking.
I don't look at the comments. I don't, and I won't go back and look either. And that's something new that I've been doing where it's been really helpful.
Amazing, yeah.
So I'm kind of like giving myself my own boundaries.
Yeah.
Even though it's like right there in plain sight and all I have to do is one click and I can see all the captions in the comments or whatever. I've been really mindful to just be like, do not.
But it comes off like confident and I don't know, just like you've been on an amazing tear, like consistent drops of product and you're kind of acknowledging little points of it, but it's like,
I don't think people realize, I mean, you know, like how far in advance you plan.
Yeah.
And so when you place a PO to when the product is here, to when you start your marketing rollout, it's not like, and then my favorite is when like I'll see comments and they're like, well, she probably only ordered 10 of each size. I'm
right,
like,
as if.
I wouldn't be able to be employing 40 plus people if that's the amount of product that I was making. And so I think it's those moments too where I can just be like, okay, like let them think what they want. I can't control other people. I can only control what I know and how I act and my own mind.
What is something that you're obsessed with fixing right now? Personal or in business?
I'm obsessed with fixing the way that I show up. I've realized in the last couple months since 2026 started, I multitask often. I'm pulled in so many different directions that I feel like the people that I'm in meetings with, or even sometimes like I forget about my broadcast channel, like I'm being so spread thin that I feel like I'm not able to give my full attention to the things that it deserves. And so I'm really trying to like be present. Yeah. And I know that that's such probably like a common answer, but you know, like when you build, hard. Like you
business is a bitch, man.
You're pulled in so many different, like we just had to like pressure cook basically all of Q4 creative because we were trying to plan the strategy for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. But I was like, I can't plan that strategy and tell you that I feel good about those units. And I'm talking like hundreds and thousands of units. Totally. Like I'm not talking about 100 units. I'm talking hundreds and thousands of units of product.
You hear that?
And I'm like, I can't back into 200,000 units for this one drop if I don't know what the creative is. Yeah. And they're like, well, it's not on the timeline yet to think of the creative. I'm like, that is what I have to do right now in this hour before we continue the conversation. And so what I'll do is I'll tap, you know, the people that help me brainstorm best, Gina, Julia, Jess, Anna, and I'll say everyone has to stop what they're doing. We're going into my office and we're having a working session, like right here, right now. I'm also a huge, like I'm obsessed with AI. Yeah. Like it consumes me. And I recently figured out how to like use Chat GPT and Claude to like deliver the best and put them against each other and like have Claude download the PDF of our whole conversation that we had and put it into chat and say, pretend you're a brand strategist and CBO and demand planner and analyze this PDF and tell me what I did wrong, but also look at the deck from last year and tell me what we could do this year that's better.
It's incredible.
Gina, the deck that it shot out, it was wild, like wild stuff. But I was able to like plan the creative as a team. Yeah. And then now I'm really excited about, and I'm like, yes, we can do 200,000 units for that drop. Cool. Let's do it. Yeah. Because I know what we're going to be marketing. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Totally.
It's very backwards, but it's how I operate.
I love it. To be in a mental headspace where you're feeling best and most productive. Yeah. Is it physical activity or like what do you do to like
I wish it was physical activity. I haven't worked out in a year.
Same. It's dreadful.
God, it's dreadful. No, honestly, I hate to say this. It's probably not the healthiest answer, but I do best under pressure. It's where most of my creative ideas, the best creative is like done.
You mean like there's insane deadlines and chaos.
Yeah,
and
like
all that.
I knew that we had to have strategy. Like
Yeah.
our Black Friday strategy meeting that we had this year, like we had to have figured out for our projections for revenue, for budgeting and everything. It had to be done last week.
Yeah.
But we had no creative done.
Yeah.
So it was like, ooh,
Yeah,
I can't sign off on this yet because I need to know what we're doing. So that's like an example of me being under pressure. I guess time with my kids, like if I'm at the office and I see, okay, 3 p.m. is my last meeting of the day. It might wrap at 3:30. It might wrap at 3:45. But I have no other meetings. I'm going to put a hold on the rest of my calendar, and I'm going to go to Ace's tennis practice, or I'm going to go home and hang out with them, or go watch Ava do her dance class. And that resets me a lot, like just being with them.
With them. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. That's why I've plugged horses in.
Yeah.
Right? Like you have to flying over the jumps, like you have to be fully present or you're gonna get
you can't even you can't have your phone when you're jumping. You can't have your phone with
exactly.
the horse. Like
that's been like the antidote to all of this.
Yeah.
But it's funny kind of being in the activewear space, like, and with OV, kind of like the early mission was to inspire people to move their bodies, and then like the reality of life,
we're not moving our bodies.
It's like, holy shit!
I know.
Like I can't prioritize it. Right?
I know. It's something. Something's got to give. Like in your list of priorities.
Right?
And last year I did prioritize moving my body.
You did? Okay.
And it was amazing. But there are other things, like I missed almost every morning with the kids getting ready for school and like watching them eat their breakfast and like little moments that like.
Breakfast is like the most treasured time of my day with
the
kids. Yeah.
But it's like something's got to give when you're building.
What about being in a relationship with how full throttle you are? Like, I find that really difficult. My husband happens to be away, like, as a musician on the road a lot, but, like, talk to me just about that and balancing kind of, obviously, having a husband. Like, I have such a hard time, like, putting attention there and, like...
I do too. I'm not going to lie. And it's hard because Garrett's love language is quality time. Mine is absolutely not that.
Me too.
And I think what it is I think the one thing that has kept us together as long as we've been together, which is 13 years, is just he supports me. Like he knows that this is what I want in my whole life. Cool. Like he was the one who actually pushed me to quit my corporate job and start my entrepreneurship journey. And I think he just knows that I'm building, and he has a job too, and it's a great job and a well-paid job, but like he knows that I'm building for us and our family, and we talk about our future and like wanting a slower life, and not that I'll ever slow down. I'll always be working on something, but you know, a place where our kids can run outside and the sun can go down and I don't have to worry about where they are, and like more land and horses, and we talk about it often, and I think he knows that like there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and that's and I'm speaking for him, like right. But
Set is the legacy.
Yeah, and I think it's everyone always tells him like it's so amazing what your wife's done, and I think he's like it is like I think he believes that,
so cool.
And he wants to like champion me. But our relationship is definitely lacking. I don't think that we've had sex in 3 weeks. Like, sorry, like that's a long time for me and him. We at least try to have sex like once a week, but shit's come up. I don't know what to tell you.
I know. I'm asking because it's hard.
It's hard. It's really hard. But he does. I should give him more credit for letting me do my thing.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love it. This is Obsessions With, and I'm Ty Haney. It's a podcast, a vlogcast, where I interview close friends of mine and the founders building the most successful and most loved brands and businesses today.